literally just applied the first product and realized that the whole intro wasn't even recording. How's your day going? Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today we're testing out a full face of makeup that I recently purchased. It's all new to me, that's why we're testing it out, but some of these products have been out for a while, for a long while actually, and I've just like wanted to try them. Finally made the plunge when Ulta was having their 15% off sale, and yeah, my hair is in a bun today because it is so hot. That is also why my window is open and why there's probably some background noise. There's been construction around my house for the past what feels like forever. So let's just go ahead and jump right on into the video. Like I said at the very beginning, I had already applied the first product and realized the whole intro wasn't even filming. But I used the Milani Prime Perfection face primer. It's the hydrating and pore minimizing one. This is supposed to prime skin for a smooth canvas for makeup, hydrate and create a natural finish, reduce redness and minimize the look of pores. And it's supposed to leave a lightweight, non-greasy feel. I mean, yeah, sure, I guess on that part. Let's see how foundation and everything applies to it. So for foundation, I have the Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation in the shade F2. First of all, this packaging is adorable. I'm gonna pull up the Ulta website and just see some like claims that it has. This is for fair skin tones with yellow undertones. That's what the description of it says. It says it quickly perfects, contours, and highlights your complexion. So I guess you can get like multiple different shades and like contour and highlight, but don't think you would be able to highlight, at least for me, in like the shade range of this foundation. I'm gonna say there's like 18 shades, not a whole lot, but there are at least some like darker tones. There's just not a whole lot of like paler skin tones, and like in the middle. Then it says on like how to use: twist up, swipe on, and blend out with fingers, a beauty sponge, or your favorite foundation brush. Now I also have a new beauty sponge to try that I picked up at Ulta, and I picked up the Beauty Bakery blending eggs. I mean, like A+ for packaging. Comes in like this little egg carton. There's both pink and like this tealish color. Now the pink ones feel harder than the teal ones, so I went ahead and wetted one of the teal ones, and it did grow a lot in size. Here's the wet one and here's the dry one. It did grow a lot in size, but just like from like the feel of this, it reminds me a lot of the Sonia Kashuk one, and we all know how much I loved that. So I'm just hoping that this was a better makeup sponge. It kind of reminds me of like memory foam in a way, and that like just the way that it feels when it's wet. I'm gonna apply this foundation and blend it out. I'm gonna first start on like this cheek area, and I am breaking out just a little bit. I just have like these small little blemishes here and there. This seems like a pretty good color match, and it's going on like super smooth. Kind of reminds me of the Makeup Forever stick foundation, just kind of like the texture. It blended pretty good. However, with this foundation, I do feel it on my skin, and it could just be because of like how much I am applying, and just because I'm so used to like applying like a stick foundation and a liquid foundation that I'm applying a little more so that way I can get like a good coverage. So far I'm not mad at this foundation, and I really do like how creamy this foundation is, because a lot of stick foundations I find are more on like the drier side, even though people say that they're for like more of a drier skin type, but I have like combo to oily. Now while this sponge is a little more like on the denser side, it's not soaking up as much product as I thought it would. Maybe I will repurchase these in the future, even though I literally got 6 for $18. Thoughts on this foundation: it is like pretty good. Now I probably wouldn't wear this in like the summer just because of like how dewy it is, and I do get a little more oily in the summer. It still sees some texture. That's just my skin, so I'm not going to give it that, but it does make my skin look healthy and glowy. So if you do have drier skin and you do like stick foundations, I would recommend this Revolution one. Plus it's only $9 at Ulta, so can't really beat it. For concealer, we have the infamous 16-hour camo concealer from e.l.f. I got mine in the shade Fair Beige. I'm gonna apply it underneath the eyes, and everyone says that this is like a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape. Going on, it is super creamy. You lucked out with like all the creamy products today. And I'm also gonna add just a little bit in the center of the face, even though I feel like we don't really need that much more coverage. Still adding it. Maybe I added just a little too much. We are beat to the gods. We are full coverage AF, and I wouldn't expect anything less. I cannot take myself seriously. And so far we've only used drugstore products. Like, I literally cannot take myself seriously because all you see is like my eyeballs, a little bit of my brows. This is too funny. I look like a statue, or people dressing up like statues. For powder, I have the Derma Blend Loose Setting Powder, the original one. I actually didn't get this one during the 15% off sale. I got it during the 21 days of beauty at Ulta, that wholesale, for 50% off. 50. And I knew like I wouldn't be able to get it any cheaper than that, so I was like, and I knew I was gonna purchase it anyway just for like sake of this video, so I'm like, let's go pick it up. I'm looking like an absolute ghost right now. Like, me and my wall are the exact same color right now. So I wasn't really able to talk through the next step, but all I did was I blended out the creases underneath my eyes and then went ahead and set my actual under eye, and then I just used the same sponge that I used to blend up my foundation and everything to set the rest of my face. And now I'm just cleaning off any foundation that I got on my lips, and I'm literally just like making myself look more crazy than I already am. I'm actually gonna test the flashback after I finish my entire face, because, or at least until I get my brows on, because I look like a complete insane right now. I have no definition on the lids, no definition in my face, like no definition anywhere. Bronzer, I have the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer in the shade Forever Sunkissed. It's more of a warmer bronzer, so hopefully I don't look like an Oompa Loompa after this. Go from ghost to Oompa Loompa. So I'm just gonna bronze how I normally do. I personally don't like an orange bronzer, but to each its own. I prefer, especially for like my skin tone, more neutral toned bronzer. We will fix the whole nose situation in a minute. Before we do that, I'm gonna add some blush, and for that I picked up the Milani powder blush in the shade Romantic Rose. We're actually starting to look like a person again. I'm going to go back in with the Derma Blend powder on like some of my sponge, and I'm going to take more of a heavier amount, and I'm going to bake underneath this bronzer just to like clean it up, especially around the nose. And now that you look like a chipmunk, let's go ahead and do our brows. I have like 2 different brow products. I have a pomade and an actual brow pencil. I've been more into pomades recently. I actually tried out the Milani one. Maybe I'll do one on one eye, one on the other. Well, I'll go in with the LA Girl Shady Slim brow pencil on the right eye, and we'll use the pomade on the left eye. Comes with a spoolie, which I like, and it's a pretty good spoolie. Outline the brow first. Hopefully these colors will look good. So I'm actually going out tonight. I know. Who am I? I never go out. I feel like I was talking about this in another one of my videos where I'm like, yeah, during the summer I don't hang out with any of my friends, and then I'm like, okay, cool. But like by the time you guys are watching this, I am done with my first semester of college. Well, not semester, year. I'm growing up in the world. I feel like brow pencils are better for my right eye just because I have this scar right here, and so like no pigment ever wants to pick up on it. And I forget what the scar is from. It's either from, I want to say it's from when a dog bit me, or it's when I was like really, like both of these happened when I was really little. I like stood up from underneath like a countertop in a way, but I thought I was like tall enough, but instead I hit myself right there. But I want to say that it's from a dog biting me. This is a really warm brow pencil. I more go for like the cooler tones. I'm using an Anastasia brow brush. Don't know which one it is because everything is like rubbed off of it. I just remember it's Anastasia because I remember seeing Nicole Guerrero, she had it, and I'm like, I need it. But now that I'm more experienced with makeup, I'm like, I would have preferred if I got like a longer one. Still could, but this is the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Brow Pomade in the shade Soft Brown. Now I can get away with a pomade better on my left brow. We have two different eyebrow colors. Great. I prefer the shade of the pomade just because of its like coolness. Just because of the color, I like this one better, but if you want more like a natural look, I really like the a pencil. But like for the like Instagram brow, a pomade is where it's at. So I might just take a little bit of the pomade, just a little tiny bit, and just run it over the brow just to like make it match in color. Now that I'm looking more of a human being, let's dust away this powder. We have bronzer on so we don't look like a ghost. And we have brows on so I look like I actually have a face. Now before I go on to the eyes, because I'm going to do my eyes first and then do my highlight and everything, but I'm going to go and spray my face, and this is the Revolution Pro Fixing Spray. Shake well before use. It's a really fine mist. Let's zoom you in so we can go into the eyes. Sitting is not fun for me. I actually grabbed a pillow. I need like a good filming chair, or just chair in general, to do my homework, because I sit at this desk, or at a desk, the majority of my life. Primer. I have the Revolution Prime and Lock Longwear Eyeshadow Primer. So I'm going to apply a little bit of this to my lids, blend it out, and set it with the Derma Blend powder. Now while I was like priming and setting my lids, I was actually looking up reviews on this shadow primer, just everything about it, and some cons that people have listed is it creases, it fades, it clumps, difficult to apply, greasy. I don't know about creasing. Just from like first impressions on it, I feel like if you didn't set it with like a powder, because I normally do, shadows would just skip over. I got the Revolution Reloaded eyeshadow palette in the shade Velvet Rose. This is gorgeous, and I'm just like, this could be a dupe for the Anastasia Soft Glam eyeshadow palette. Just like the three shades I was gravitated towards are those of that in the Soft Glam palette. I know I do like half cut creases in like all of my videos, but I'm kind of gravitating towards a look like that today. We're just gonna play around, see what look comes to mind. I'm gonna first start with this shade right here, shade 4. Apply that to the crease with this giant fluffy brush. This is a Farah 35E brush. Use it in literally all of my videos. Just to add some neutrals, I'm going to go into this shade right here, just shade 10 on an SLNS Glam SB68 brush. Just to add some like browns into the look so it's not just straight rosy tones, even though Your girl loves those types of looks. And with that brush, I'm gonna actually just take it on a towel and wipe off like any excess. And I'm going to take the first shade that we went in with on the tip of it and apply that to my lower lashes, or lower lash line. Kind of just smoking it out. I'm taking this Luxie 237 blending brush and this shade right here, shade 3, and use that on like the outer part of my lids. I'm first just stamping it just to get that color. Like, this is very similar to my testing Wet and Wild makeup look. And I'm gonna tap off the excess and start blending it up and into the crease. They're very smoky today, but I'm not a huge fan of that shadow primer. I don't know if you guys can tell, but like, it is super patchy. This whole eye look is super patchy. And it could just be like either a combination of that powder and eye primer, or just the eye primer, or just the powder. This is a very patchy look, and I'm not very happy about that. And usually I would be like, oh, it's just my eyes today, they don't really want to apply some eyeshadow. But just from applying that shadow primer, I'm just not a huge fan of it. I'm gonna go into this shadow right here, shadow number 7, and just see if this will all blend. I hope it blend a little bit. Taking the e.l.f. concealer just on the back of my hand. I'm not messing around with that eyeshadow primer. I just applied some to the back of my hand. Taking my synthetic concealer brush that I literally use for all of my cut creases. Doesn't matter if it's on camera, off camera. I'm gonna go into this shade right here, just right on top of that concealer. I'm going to take a little bit of this shade right here, number 11, just on my finger. Apply that on top just to lighten this a little bit. Now time for mascara, and for that I have the Essence Volume Stylist Lash Extension Mascara. It's at this point where I'm like, do I really want to finish 2 layers? 1 layer? What do you guys think? Also, let me know your favorite drugstore mascara recommendations in the comments down below, because I need some new ones. Now for some highlights. The CoverGirl True Blend Super Stunner palette, and it's lit. I'm gonna use this one right here today to highlight my cheekbones. I'm gonna first apply it dry and then intensify it by spraying my brush. Actually, I'm just gonna spray my brush because that's what I usually do. It's more of like a subtle highlight, and subtle to me is like blinding to others, so to each its own. I'm gonna quickly set my brows. This isn't anything new, it's just the clear Maybelline Great Lash. This was an OG eyebrow gel for me, this and the e.l.f. one. We literally have come so far since when we first started this makeup. Like, one final spritz of the Revolution spray before we go and finish with our lips. So did my hair, had a little snack, had a little chat with my mother, and lined my lips with the Maybelline Color Sensational shaping pencil in the shade Dusty Rose. This isn't a new product, but I'll have this first impressions video linked down below. But now, time for lipstick. I have the e.l.f. Liquid Matte Lipstick in the shade Blushing Rose. Like, this is more of like a cooler tone rose color, but let's just see how this goes. Not mad at it with this look, and I'm actually gonna go grab a gloss really fast. I don't really know how glossy I want to go with this look. This is nothing new that I'm trying out. I have tried it in the past, but it's just the Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy. I'm just gonna apply that right on top. Just felt like this needed like a glossy lip. Now I'm kind of second guessing. I'm gonna apply this just like in the center just because I feel like, I don't know, I'm not 100% loving it. This is new. This is the, at least to me, the Ulta Lasting Color Lip Gloss Stain in the shade Crown. That helped it out a little bit. Still don't know how I feel about it. Anyways, that was all the makeup that we are testing out in this video. Some standout products. I would say this eyeshadow palette by Revolution. I really like how this eye look turned out. And even though they were going on a little bit patchy, I really think it's the eyeshadow primer. The foundation and concealer, these two are awesome. Now, I will probably only use the foundation in more like the colder months or when my skin is feeling a little more dry, just because of how creamy it is. But I love like the coverage that it gave. Thank you, phone. And I really do like this concealer. Don't think I'll be needing to apply as much as I did today. The Maybelline brow pomade was great. The e.l.f. liquid lipstick, I do like the shade of it and everything. Just I'll play around with this some more. Mascara, okay, not my favorite mascara. Again, if you guys have any recommendations, please leave them in the comments down below. Brow pencil, it was good. Probably more for like my natural days. This blush, couldn't really tell a whole lot, but I feel like it's gonna be a great blush for me personally because I love these shades of blushes. This highlighting palette, I'm kind of in like on the fence about it because maybe if I mix these two shades together I would have gotten like a better payoff. But when I swatch it, like the yellow one is kind of like more of like that subtle highlight. Like it goes from subtle to more blinding to like almost like glitter in the way. This does remind me of a different palette, but I'll be getting into that in another video. This, I'm going to play with it some more because I kind of just applied it on top. Both of these lip colors, I'm going to try it on their own just because I think I might actually even just take this off and wear this just as a matte for the rest of the night. For my dud products, 3, this bronzer, just not a huge fan of the color on it, a little too warm. This primer did like nothing for me, and this powder made me look like a cake. So those 3, not a huge fan of. I will play more around with the e.l.f. bronzer. Maybe I just need to use it on top of a different powder. Beauty Bakery sponge. Not like my holy grail sponge ever, but it will work. I'll use them. That was everything. If you guys like this video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel or give it a thumbs up or both. If you guys have any video requests, you can leave them in the comments down below. Or at me on my social media, which is all under SassieBeauty YT, same as spelled here, both Twitter and Instagram. Also go follow my beauty Instagram, which is SassieBeauty, as well as go shop SassieBeauty. I'll have the links to all our social media and where to shop on Etsy. Links will be in the description box below. Also, always check the description box because I'll have like referral links in there, links to all my social media, just a whole bunch of like good information that you guys would want to know. Before my phone goes off anymore, I'm gonna go. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.